Wait, is this thing on? Oh, snap. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, my name is Bree, also known as highcheeks.c.mua. And for today's tutorial, I'll be using the Hudabeauty Obsession Gemstone Palette in Amethyst. I figured I'd try something unique and use all 9 shades in this look. And that, of course, in itself is a challenge. But what's even more of a challenge for me is the fact that I don't have a lot of lid space. However, I am up for it. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Also, I will be breezing through my normal routine with little to no talking, and I will pick back up when I actually do my eye look. Thank you again for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell at the bottom so that way you'll be notified of new uploads. Also, follow me on Instagram at highcheeks.c.mua. Enjoy. So first things first, we're gonna tie our hair back so we don't get too much makeup in the way. Oh my gosh, if I can get the hair out of my way so I can tie it. Come on now. Come on. I'm digging this psychedelic bandana. A friend of mine gave it to me. Okay, right there. Yes, get the hair out of the way. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and prime. We're gonna be using Fenty Pro Filt'r Primer. Shake it up, shake it up. Next, we're gonna go in with our Cover FX Power Play Foundation, and this is in shade N100. Got a little bit of that on the back of my hand. Oh yeah. I like this foundation because it is mattifying. The one thing I don't really care about this foundation is the packaging. It's so hard to get this foundation, squeezing it out, so difficult. And I'm gonna go in with my sponge. Put my dots all over my face. I figured it'd be only fitting for me to use a purple sponge since we're doing an all over purple look. I try to work relatively quickly with this foundation because it's so matte, it dries down so fast. So you want to work with it as quickly as possible. Now that we have our foundation laid, I am going to go in with Fenty Beauty's Pro Filter Concealer in shade 420. And I'm just gonna swatch this all over my face. Well, not all over my face, obviously, but in those certain areas that I want to add a little bit more brightness, a little bit more balance in my skin, I'm gonna add this. And if you guys haven't seen my previous video where I did a review on the concealer, I would definitely recommend you checking that out. And Lord knows I can't forget my mustache. Oh yeah, there we are. Trusty sponge, pressing and rolling. I think I like it. Now I'm gonna go in with one of my favorites, which is the Becca Pro Filter. No, the Becca Golden Hour Luminizing Blurring Primer or Powder. And I'm gonna do my highlight like I like to with this particular powder. We're not setting with our makeup with this powder. We're just using it to give it a little bit more luminescent look. I'm just kind of breezing through this portion because we want to get to the meat of what you're here for, right? Which is the eye look. not necessarily highlighting around my lips. I just see like a little bit of discoloration. So I'm just taking whatever foundation I have on my sponge and just kind of making it so my lips don't look so dark on the out portions of my mouth. Now we are going to go ahead and set our makeup, and we're going to be using the Mercier translucent powder in the original shade, which is just that light off-white tone. Now, because I am using heavy shadows and a pigment is going to be very pronounced, we want to make sure the setting powder catches any fallout from that shadow. So I'm going to put a little bit more heavier powder underneath my eyes than everywhere else, so that can catch any fallout. So not only is it setting my makeup, but it's also gonna be like that protectant. Put a little bit more on that side. And then the usual places where I tend to get a little bit more oily. I try not to have it too heavy around my chin area because I don't want it to come off too ashy. Now I'm gonna go in with my Makeup Forever Step 1. Oops, can you see that? I guess that's this best. Yeah, right there. Step 1 eyeshadow primer. You can also use it as a lip primer. I do not. I just use it as an eyeshadow primer. That way it grips the eyeshadow better and allows it to last longer and pops really on your eyes. And you don't tend to have creasing with this primer, which is one of the reasons why I like it. So I'm gonna go ahead with that base. Put it all over the lid. You want to make sure you blend that all the way out too. And as you can see, it didn't leave any type of residue. It dries clear, so you can put your you can put your eyeshadows over top of it without any concerns. There we are. Yes, this is just to prep our eyes, so that way when we do our eyeshadows, it will have something to grip to, hold on to. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows off camera. Don't worry, there will be a video coming up where I actually show you how I do my brows, so do not fret, I promise you I will. But in the meantime, I am gonna be doing them off camera this time around, and I will be using my Benefit Precisely Brow in shade number 5. I will be right back. As I mentioned before, I went ahead and did my brows off camera using the Benefit Precisely pencil in shade number 5. Again, I will be showing, I will be doing a tutorial on my brows very soon because someone did request it, and I am happy to oblige. Now going on to the star of the show, we will be using the new Hudabeauty Obsession palette in the shade Amethyst. Now, Huda came out with these right a little bit before Christmas time or holiday time, and she came out with 5 specific exclusive Obsession shades, and they all were strategically colorized by different types of jewels. There's ruby, there's topaz, amethyst, then there's also sapphire and emerald are the 5 shades. They currently retail for $27 at your local Sephora, so I highly recommend stopping by and grabbing one. So, like I said, we are going to be using the amethyst, and we're going to be using all 9 shades in it. So prepare yourself, brace yourself, sit back and enjoy. So I'm going to go in with my MAC 207 brush to blend everything out. I'm going to be using this pretty shade right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's a matte, soft, pinky color. And I'm going to go in, I'm going to put that all over my lid. All over. I love working with purples. It's so pretty, very flattering on any eye. It's so beautiful. And you could use these are more cool tone purples, warm tone purples. You can use cool tone purples that have more of that blue, blue color, like a blue purple. Those are very nice too to work with. One of the things that I love about this particular palette is because of the fact that it takes out the guesswork of, okay, what can I do with it? You can actually incorporate, as I'm going to do here, you can incorporate each color and it will look flattering on you. It won't be too intimidating. So I want a lot of people to get that in their heads, that even though it's an extreme color palette, it's not very intimidating. You just got to know how to work with it. So I'm just going all over my lid with that matte, soft, pinky, purple color all over my lid. And you can opt to use 1 or 2 colors. You could use the entire palette, as I'm going to do tonight, or today, sorry, tonight. It's all your preference. But you see how much pigment that was? Like that you get on there? It's really nice. Making sure that it's all laid. All laid. Next, I'm gonna go in with this top purple right here. And I'm going to lay this right underneath my brow bone, right here in the orbital bone. And I'm gonna put that all over. Kind of making like an upside down U. You can see that. I do want to still target the outer perimeter of my eye with this shade, because that's where we're really going to start building up. I think I'm satisfied with that so far. Next, I'm gonna go in with this dark shade right here. And I'm actually gonna focus this right underneath, obviously, that in between color, that one right here. I'm gonna put that right underneath and start really targeting the center of my eye, right in the orbital bone. Oh, and the brush that I am using is my Petite Crease brush by Zulu. It's number 231. I gotta get up close and personal and then get like a little bit further away so I can make sure that the overall perspective of this look is collectively working together. Since after all, I am using 9 shades on my eyelid, on my eye. The good thing about doing this type of look is the fact that if you notice, I have not a lot of crease or lid space. And you know, sometimes it could be intimidating when you don't have a lot of space to work with, of how to incorporate colors and you know, how you can get a look that you see somebody who has a little bit more lid space can achieve. I love doing this look because of the fact that it takes out that guesswork. It doesn't matter your eye shape, anyone can do this. Like I really want to focus this shade, this dark, dark purple. Now I'm gonna go back in with my 270 by Matte, and I'm just gonna kind of blend out those harsh lines, picking up a little bit of that lighter matte purple color to soften it up. Because Lord knows we don't want to lose any of the purple. We want every purple to really stand out in their own way. If you hear the pitter patter of small feet, it's probably my son. And if you hear the wails of another child, that's my daughter. Right here, it's just like a spot, like a weird spot. Don't know how else to describe it. Right there. I think that works better. Okay. I think I'm in a good spot. Again, I'm gonna go in with that same Zulu brush, and I'm gonna take a little bit of this beautiful shimmery frosted color, which is the first shade in the palette. And I'm just picking it up, and I want to focus that right on the outer corner, so that way, like when you look down, you see it. Like as you're looking front, you know you don't see it, but then you do that, it's like, whoa, where did that come from? And I'm like, I know, where did it come from? It's there and has been there all the time. So put that right underneath that beautiful deep shade. The reason why I keep saying shade is because I don't see specific names for each color, so that's why I keep saying shades. But even though I have like this darker color, you could still see, and this is such a much lighter color, you could still see that purple, which shows you the quality of the product and how pigmented it is, and it won't get lost in the overall look. And that's something that I do really like about pretty much all the Huda palettes that I own. That's one thing I really like, is that you won't get lost. None of the shades that you're using will get lost in the look. And this is like a beautiful true purple with a shimmer, but it's like a true purple. It's not really, it's violet. I'll put it that way. It's more violet, which kind of has a small shade of like reds, like a subtle red color. So right underneath the purple, the deep purple, that plumbing kind of purple. And that way it doesn't get lost in the look either. Now I'm gonna take a clean blending brush. It's my Sephora 31 airbrush crease brush. And I'm gonna blend out the top portion of that dark shade and then the shade I just used. So I won't have harsh lines. I want them to be a nice gradual look, gradient of different shades. So I'm just taking a clean brush and just blending it out. So that way, again, it won't get lost and it won't look stiff. It just has a nice gradual transition from one shade to the next. Now I'm gonna go back in with that dark shade because I want to make sure that the back side of my eye, the last quarter of my eye, is still kind of smoked out. And we'll do overall cleanup towards the end, but I just want that to not get lost at the end either. Okay. Now I'm gonna go in with my MAC medium flat brush, and I'm gonna pick up this shade right here at the very top, right there. And you can't really see it, but it's like a, let me do a swatch so you can see what the color looks like. So can you see that? It's a beautiful color, and I'm gonna put that on the inner portion of my eye. So I'm picking up a little bit of that on my MAC brush. Now, normally I would use my fingers because I feel like you get more of the product to swipe on your eye and you'll see the payoff. However, since I have such a small area that I'm working with and I'm putting this particular color, I am using the brush, and I am gonna take a little bit of MAC Prep Prime and Fix Plus, and I'm gonna spray my brush of that shimmer shade so that way I can get precisely in the inner corner of my eye. I'm gonna wet it a little bit more. I didn't wet it as much as I thought I did. So pick a little bit more of that up. Spray. There we are. Don't need a lot. There we go. And it gives it like a foil look. Gotta see that. Such a pretty color. And one of the reasons why I'm staying in the inner corner of my eye is because we have a few more shades to go. We have like 4 more shades to put on these eyelids. So I gotta be as creative as possible. Now I can't say this is all my doing. A friend of mine inspired me, and she was like, oh, you should totally do this with this purple look, because I didn't know exactly where I was going with it. I just knew that I wanted to use all the purple on my eyes. She was like, oh, you should totally do it this way. And I was like, okay. I appreciate her creativity. You know who I'm talking to. You know who I'm talking to. Pretty. So now I'm gonna go in with this last shade right here. This is the shade I just used, and this is the shade I'm about to use. Taking that same flat brush. It's still wet from the Fix Plus, so I'm putting that in the center of my eye. And I'm putting it in the middle half if you can't see. and put it in the middle half of my eyelid, focusing it right on my lid and not any higher. And I'm gonna go back in with my Zoeva brush whenever I can find it. And I wanna go in with number 1 again, which was this shade. And I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this beautiful blue as well. And this blue is kind of like a blue purple. See that? Can you see that? Such a beautiful color. The first time I played with it, I was like, ooh, where you been all my life? And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna take a little, I'm gonna take some of that Studio Fix, spray my brush again. This I wanna target right in the back half. I changed my mind. At first I wanted it to be all dark back there, but I figured since I had a few more shadows to work with, why not have it an overall gradual effect of the purples, the shimmer purples. So that's what I'm doing. And I am gonna take more of that number 1 so I don't get that lost. Putting it right above my crease line. Now what I'm going to use is the shade right here in the middle, smack dab in the middle, in the middle. And I am going to put that in my inner tear duct. Right? How pretty is that? It's like, the video doesn't do it as much justice. It's like a blue purple. It's pretty. Like, can you see how the light reflects it? Just to amp it up one step further, I'm gonna go with my Studio Fix. Spray, shake, and pat. Pat it in. So pretty. It looks wet. It's so cool. I'm just blending it out so it blends in with the other shades. And we're almost done. So now I'm gonna go in with this pretty shade right here that's right underneath the one that I just used. Show it to you. It is right there. And I'm gonna put that on my brow bone. Using the same brush, which by the way is the Zoeva pencil brush. It's number 230. Ooh, look at that. We're gonna have to clean that up, but it's still so pretty. And I kind of want the two to connect almost look like they're connecting. That is so pretty. Don't worry, we're gonna clean that up. Like I said before, I normally prefer to use my hands when I'm applying shimmers, especially the Huda shimmers, because they're so pigmented and you get better payoff by doing it that way. But for the sake of making sure it's precise, I went ahead and used my brush. I'm gonna take that airbrush brush from Sephora to clean it up so it won't look so harsh. Take a little bit of, take some of that original shade, which was this one, down here. Kind of clean up those lines. Over here as well. I am gonna take my finger on. I'm hoping I'm doing this look justice for my girl who said, oh, you should totally rock this look since you want to use all the shades. And also, if you guys have any creative ideas of a look that you would like for me to do, feel free to comment below and let me know, because I would love to do them. We need helps too, you guys. We do. Sometimes we can't think of things off the top of our heads. And having a little help from you guys is awesome. Okay. I think I'm digging it. Now I am going to go in with my Precisely pencil, which is the one that I use for the shimmer. I'm just gonna sweep off the excess powder. eyeshadow off on the back of my hand, and I want to pick up the first two shades, which were these two, and sweep them underneath my eye to give it a rounded look. And now that nice dark color. All right. Now I'm gonna finish off the look and I will come back. See you soon. And here's the final look. I hope you guys enjoy. Now I will be linking everything that I use, even things that I use off camera, down below. And also please check out my other videos and support your sister. Thanks, until next time.